What's going on, you guys? Slim here with a new video for you guys, and today, you guys, I have
RAMIRO STEINMANN.
And what did you do this weekend, sir?
I got top 8 at the first regionals of the format with Hero.
With heroes, pure heroes. Like you're playing,
pure
like
heroes,
you're playing the reason why Enforcer is so strong. Like outside of every other deck, you're playing the Jade and Yugi special, basically.
Exactly, the Jade and Yugi special. Yeah, the best deck to play Enforcer.
Awesome, man. Love to see it. I know my boy Robbie covered your deck real quickly on one of his videos today, but we're doing the live profile for you to talk about anything you want to talk about. First hero deck to have a lot of success in this new Bode format. I know the format has just started, but I know everyone has had their eyes on heroes because even though Enforcer is used in a lot of decks, heroes do it better in my opinion. I know most hero players will agree with that. And it's just awesome to see heroes on the map. Like this is what we've been waiting for. I know some players have been really trying to push the deck, and yeah, man, you did it. And first I gotta say, how was your experience playing in these regionals? I know that they're remote, similar to like the extravaganzas and other events, but how was the event overall?
For sure, honestly, it was really good. It was run very smoothly. I had just, great experience. I'd had a little bit of remote duel experience before. I topped the last extravaganza also with Hero, and yes, I had my setup from there, and I knew how to set it up. And the staff was honestly just amazing. You know, everything was really good. I recommend that everyone that can play come out to these regions.
Yeah, fantastic, man. Yeah, I know it's not IRL yet, but this is what we got for, the next couple months till Pasadena, and they start running trial runs of real events. So if you guys can get in and play these, definitely do it. But yeah, man, before we get into it, do you got any shout outs?
Oh yeah, I have a ton of shout outs. Yeah. First big shout out to my boy Steven. He helped me theory craft the ratios, build a deck, test it. He did everything for me. Yo, Steven, thanks a ton. You're the best. Shout outs to my boy Sam Moon. He helped me learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the beginning. He's been playing with me ever since. Shout outs to the entire crew at the University of Washington. We have a Yu-Gi club there. We all build, play test, theory craft together, and they're honestly the best. They're honestly the best friends I could ever have. And last big shout out to the guys at the University of Ohio. They've been putting together intercollegiate tournaments annually for the past 2 years, and honestly these are the best tournaments that I've ever played in. They've got amazing prize support. They've got it's run super smoothly. Honestly, shout outs to them. They're the best. And yeah, if anyone's interested, the next one is going to be at the University of Washington, where we go to school. So if you guys have any Yu-Gi clubs in your universities, please reach out. Love to have you at that too.
For sure, man. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into it.
All right. So to start off, I played 3 Stratos. I know that everyone has been saying that Stratos isn't as good as normal summon, but I think that really only applies to going first hero decks. This hero deck that I ran is just blind second OTK for days. In that deck, Stratos is the best for 2 reasons. First of all, if you try to normal summon Bion instead, a lot of the times you miss the extra search because when you normal summon Stratos, you go into the first place anyways, and then you get the Bion dump from there. So if you miss the extra search, a lot of the times you miss OTK. And second of all, you have the pop effect. The pop effect on summon when you have another hero is really strong. For the extravaganza, they ruled that not only does the pop effect not target, you don't have to declare which of the 2 effects you're using until resolution, which means that you can just normal summon Stratos, say effect, and if they have back row, they'll have to chain it. And if they chain it and you still get the effect, you can just search in the end. And honestly, that's come up a lot. You can normal summon Stratos, have nothing on the field, go into mass change, and then pop a back row, and then just use blast to bounce another back row, and that's a really strong interaction. So this is definitely the normal summon that you want in the deck. I played 2 Shadow Mist. Honestly, I've been thinking about cutting this to 1. The second does come up in some grind games, so I've been a little hesitant. But you might only need just 1. You need this to dump off of Bion to search your mass, to search for your Honest Neos, to search for your Liquid Soldier when you go into Sunrise. And that the other effect is that when you special summon it, you can search a mass change, and that's really good for whenever you're forced to go first. I played 2 Liquid Soldier. This is a bit of a non-standard ratio. The reason that Liquid Soldier is really good at 2 is that sometimes you're forced to go first. And a lot of times what happens when you're forced to go first is that you'll make a Dark Claw using the normal summon effect of Liquid Soldier, summon it to get a mass change. And then a lot of times when you need to search off of the Shadow Mist that you summon on your opponent's turn when you're going to mass change, you need that second Liquid Soldier in order to follow up and get another mass change in case they out the first Dark Claw. That comes up a lot. Also, just being able to draw 2 on your first turn if you get into a grind, just using the normal summon effect after really comes up. So I think that 2 is definitely the way to go going forward. The one honestly was pretty standard. For my Destiny heroes, I played 2 malicious and I played 1 denier. Malicious is just a standard hero piece. It's best Destiny hero for sure. You get a bunch of dumps with this deck for free. So this honestly just helps you, like this just helps you get another body on board for whatever you need, for whatever materials, and you can get it for free off of Destiny. And that makes Fusion Destiny one of the best cards in the deck. Denier is just really good because it helps you recycle malicious, and when it's a graveyard, it also just acts as another copy of malicious for free. So Denier is a new card for Burst of Destiny. For those of you who don't know what it does, on summon, you can target, you can take one of your banished or like in-deck heroes and place it on top of your deck, and then once per duel, when it's in the graveyard, you can just summon it for free if you have another Destiny hero in the grave. So Denier makes the deck really strong because you can you can malicious basically every turn now. So all you have to do is just summon malicious, then go into Cross Crusader and use this to put it back. And then you can keep maliciousing every turn. And then when you're going for your big OTK plays, you just use the engrave effect, and you basically just have 3 copies of malicious for free because you summon this, put this back on top of the deck, summon it again, and then that helps you push your damage. That rounds off for the hero monsters. For my hand trap lineup, the only hand traps I played were 2 Ash Blossom and 2 Joan Lockwood. I played these 2 because for 2 reasons. First of all, I'm playing Crosse Ave in the main deck as well, and I thought that these were the best Crosse Ave targets for the main. And also, I think that Droll is really really underrated in the main this format, especially because it just hits a lot of things really randomly. Like for example, Flundries kind of gets shut down by Droll. If you do it against Sword Soul, if they go for the search spell, and grab one of their starters, then they can't get the free search on the center. Against Dragon Link, it shuts the deck down after they go for Boot Sector launch. And for example, Drytron, they can't really play the game at all because after the first search, they can't really resolve Momentum. So I think that Droll is really good for that. I played Ash just because it hits the most decks. And you really want your hand traps to be alive against every deck in this deck, because it doesn't matter if they're not the most impactful, because this deck can play through 1 or 2 negates with its own engine. What you really want is just for your hand traps to be alive every single time. For the Vision heroes, I played 3 Ferrets, 2 Vion, and 2 Increase. Because I'm not really focused on normal summoning Vion, I'm more so focused on getting it off of Increase. The 2 was enough. I never really needed a third. This was a good ratio. Ferrets basically just acts as another starter. If you hard draw it, you can get the Stratos effect off really easily. Increase. Some people have been playing this at 1. I don't think that's correct because Ferrets is the card that you want to go into every single game. And if you draw it, if you draw 1, which happens 10% of the time, you can't really resolve Ferrets that game. You just get it as a free body, but it doesn't actually form OTK like it would when this is in deck. Honestly, just hard drawing this isn't really that bad. If you pitch this off of Ferrets, and the Ferrets get disrupted, you can use the engrave effect to place in the spell card zone when you take damage. And even if you don't need to do that, it just counts as fusion material in this deck. Honestly, hard drawing this really isn't that bad, and it really is worth it to just have it to be able to hit your Ferrets place every single game. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, I played 1 Poly and 1 Miracle Fusion. You don't really ever need more than 1 of these. I know that one other hero player who's also gotten featured on Slim's channel, Eduardo, he said that he was considering a second Poly. I can see why it does come up in the grand game. However, this deck's grand game gets really strong with Destiny Hero Denier, so you don't really need to invest any other card slots in to boost your grand game. These two just that right now. And you play the Miracle Fusion to search out Sunrise. I played 3 Eco. I did max out on the starters. I know that some people have been cutting Eco 2 to 1, and sometimes even just cutting it completely. But honestly, I just felt I wasn't seeing Stratos enough, so I did want to see the max. And for that same reason, I did play the 1 Rider. I also played 3 Fusion Destiny. This card is absolutely bonkers. resolving this card basically makes it like so that you just automatically win, because you can you can do one of two things. You can either go for Phoenix Enforcer, which is not only a free pop, but it also just gets you three free bodies because of Malicious Denier, and also this locks you into Dark Heroes. But most of your good plays revolve around Dark Heroes anyway, so the restriction really doesn't matter in this deck. This card is just super duper sweet, and on it, it's honestly like it's probably I think it's probably like with Phoenix Enforcer with Denier probably the best card in the deck. Another important thing to note is that this card says that you can only activate it once per turn, which means that if it gets negated with something like Boral Savage, then it gets you activation, you can just place another one down. So I've had it happen before. I drew 3 of these. I activated 2 of them. They both got negated. I plopped down the third, and I just won after that. I also played mass changes. You need to play 3 to need to play 3 to see your Dark Claw all of the time. You don't really have like a perfect way to switch Dark Claw in this deck. So like the easiest way to like if you don't hard dodge card is to just dump Shadow Mist and then go into Liquid Soldier. And seeing these having these 3 in hand, like at any number 1, 2, or 3 helps you play around the bureau because you can just put more damage on board in battle phase. And also all of the mass heroes let you play around Impermanence and Veiler, because if you get Veiler, you can just plop this down on the hero that's give knock the graveyard, and then that makes the effect go through. The last good extension I played was When a Hero Lives. This is the max number of copies you can play because it's that one. Honestly, like it used to be the best percentage of the deck. I think now with Enforcer and Denier, I think it's probably Fusion Destiny. But this card is still really strong. An important thing to note is that Stratos is not once per turn, so you can activate this, get a Stratos, search another Stratos, and normal summon that Stratos, and then get in effect again. That's a really strong interaction because that lets you go for things like Verde, like things that like normally hero lock you, like that, like hero lock you, and that makes the card like super duper unfair. That's it. That's it for like the market stuff. For staples, for spell staples, I think 3 Crosse Ave Designated. You really need this card. So you use this to play around the Nibiru sometimes. So like that doesn't come up as much. It's like I'm not even main decking Nibiru because this deck can play around Nibiru. However, you do really need it to play around Droll. Droll against this deck doesn't really have any way to like skillfully play around Droll. You basically just need to hard draw the poly, or else you kind of lose against Droll. So that's why Crosse Ave is really strong. Honestly, like one of the things that I thought might happen was that you might be able to like cross out for Fusion Destiny. That didn't really come up in any of the tournaments I played in at all. However, just having it for the Droll is really strong, and the Nibiru in the game. I played the one Public Grave for the same reason. And lastly, the God card. This card, if you see it, you basically win. It shuts down any single board. Sometimes they'll have 2 or 3 hand traps, but your hero, you can play around 2 or 3 hand traps, no problem. This card basically makes it so that you can have them build an entire board, and you don't care. You can just add it instantly. What you normally do with this card is that you activate some kind of spell, like let's say a hero lives, they negate, and then you turn the droplets, sending that same spell, and then you send a monster. And that basically stops them from taking it. You really want to send the spell. That way, like if they're playing Crosse Ave, if they have another one of these in the main deck, they can't stop you. But honestly, like this card just has very little counterplay, and that makes it like super duper strong in the deck. The fact that it has damage too makes it really easy to OTK. That's it for the main 42 main. For the extra deck. Starting off with the power card, I played the one Trinity. This card makes it so that you can OTK for days. It's the best way to play around Nibiru, because a lot of the times like you can just like Forbidden Droplet, send Shadow Mist, search a Bion, normal summon the Bion, and then go into this. The fact that Forbidden Droplets have makes it so that this card can OTK really easily because it can only use monsters. However, it is just like probably like the best way to get it. The other 2 are one Sunrise and one F-Zero. Sunrise is very strong. it basically does everything. It does everything that your deck needs to do. So this is what you go into whenever they don't have any monsters, or whenever they just have like defense position monsters, because this gets you into Ab-Zero, and then Ab-Zero can hit the entire board, and then you can just attack your game. This can also help. This can also just help you clear away like problematic stuff with its attack effect. It can clear away like singleton monsters. It can clear away back row. That's a really strong interaction. And being able to boost like every single monster's attack comes up. Like sometimes, funny enough, like you have this, and you have a verdict, and the verdict gets really big, and then you just attack with the verdict. For the fusion destiny targets, I played the one Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, the one Dangerous. This card is absolutely insane. Because you keep getting it every turn, you basically always have like a guarantee like 25 attack like for your OTKs whenever you hard draft. That makes the card just absolutely insane. And it also helps you play around random stuff like you can play around Baylor by just like putting this out, normal summon something, and then when they chain Baylor, you can chain this, top that thing, and then top the Baylor, and then top like another thing, and then the effect goes off. Dangerous, you don't really play this for the effect. So the reason that you play this is because there are a lot of combos involving Fusion Destiny that require you to have this in the extra deck in order to summon your Darklaw. So the most common one is that you use this to send a Malicious and Shadow Mist. You don't activate the Shadow Mist effect, and then you summon Malicious. You link them off into Cross Crusader, search for your Liquid Soldier, and then normal summon that and go into Darklaw. And that combo is basically like the best way to search for Darklaw if you already don't have like mastering. Going off into the mastering targets, I played 2 Darklaw. This is the card that that scares the most when people talk about Hero. Even though you don't go first that much, this card makes it so that like going first against heroes is pretty cool. So it's insane. It's getting like increasingly harder to out. This card is actually like just like immune to forbidden droplets because you cannot pay the cost when you don't have access to your graveyard. And because droplets is the main thing that like problematic monsters in this format, that makes the card just like significantly stronger. I also played the one Monkey. This just comes up a lot when you're going for OTK. You need to just beat over another monster to get extra damage in. I played the one Acid and the one Blast. Acid is really strong against back row. So against back row decks, when you do the dangerous Darklaw play, instead of like during the end phase, instead of going Darklaw, just go to this and then just wipe away their entire back row, and that basically just runs through the game. So Blast is one that some hero players have not been running. This card is absolutely necessary. So for several reasons. First of all, you can get your Stratos off the field in order to play around Effect Baylor and Permanence. That alone makes it worth playing. But the 2 effects are also just really good. So on summon, this card can have the attack of any one monster your opponent controls, and that helps you play around the negates on Appaloosa, because you can target the Appaloosa to have it, and that forces the negate just for free. The other effect is that you can pay 500 to bounce a spell and trap they control, and that also helps you play around. That also helps you play around back row with Stratos' pop effect, because when you summon Stratos, you can declare effect. They say fine, and then the mass chain go into this, pop a back row, use this, bounce into the back row. And that's a really strong interaction for playing through that. This also helps you play around the Sky Prison, which is it's definitely going to be a threat this format, and it makes it so that you don't need to destroy back row. And also, you can activate both effects in the same chain, so that's really important when you're playing on Appaloosa. You can summon this, target the Appaloosa, they'll can negate, because if not, they lose all their negates, and then you chain this, and then you bounce into the background. They can't negate with that Appaloosa. That's it for the fusions. For the links, I played Big Cross Crusader. So some people have been cutting this to 1. The second one does come up a lot of the times when you open up with the Fusion Destiny play. And it's really strong. Like if they think you're to pop your denier or your Phoenix Enforcer, this can just bring it back, no problem. I played the one Wonder Driver. I played the one Red Decimator. Wonder Driver is very necessary for a grind game. A lot of the times, like when you enter weird grinds, you need to like use poly. Red Decimator, similarly, lets you just push for OTKs when you have a malicious on board. When you have malicious on board on your graveyard, because you can link it, you can link into this, summon the malicious here, and that boosts both hit and the malicious, and that makes it so that you can get like blasted damage. The last link that I played was the one Bird Anaconda. Bird Anaconda is one that's a little bit less common in hero, but I think it's going to get a lot more common in now with Phoenix Enforcer. So this is your most consistent going first play. And it gets you the Dread Decimator, not the Dread Decimator, sorry, the Courier Phoenix Enforcer, and it dumps Moishes and Denier for you for your follow-up. So this is strong because like the Phoenix Enforcer is really hard to out, and if they spend all their resources out in the Phoenix Enforcer, just malicious and Denier and Graveyard is okay, and that makes it so that your follow-up is lethal. That's it for the extra deck. Over in the slam deck, I played two Nibiru. Oh, sorry, the second one's over here. Two Nibiru. So I played this mostly as a cross-out target. So games 2 or 3, like a lot of people just side in the Nibiru. So you counter-side this to have as a cross-out target. It's okay this format as a hand trap. It does hit Prankets. It does hit not Prankets, Fantanets pretty hard. And that does make it worth playing because Fantanets can play around droplets a little bit with their Scythe Plate. But mostly you just use it as a cross-out. 3 Gamma Seal. This almost was super poly, but I decided to make it Gamma Seal instead for the extra deck. So this helps you out. This just helps you out like one of the monsters, let's say Hero of Ultimateness, Dragoon, your opponent's Phoenix Enforcer, your rival Savage like Mister. It's just a really good problem-solving card. The fact that it's a water helps you go to absolute zero out with it as well. I played the one Pinkertops. So I mostly played this siding in the back row because like it helps out like on my floodgates, like there can only be one hero order. This deck does have problems adding those floodgates. So this was a strong one. This was a strong one that helped to deal with them. I played 3 Twin Twister. So I played this to side against backer decks. I played this over Lightning Storm for that same reason, for the floodgate reason, because you really need to be able to have something that you can chain to like something like Imperial Order, and this helps fulfill that role. I played the one Duster. Duster is just really free. Even though like it does get countered by having it present this format. However, if they don't draw it and you draw this, you just auto one. So I thought that was really strong. So I just wanted to include this. You do play this over something like Lightning Storm because like you can activate this like at any point in the turn. And a lot of times that's necessary to make something like a Solemn that would get this negated. So the fact that you can play this with cards on board comes up a lot. For whenever I need to decide to go first, I played 3 Solemn. So Dark Law with a Solemn set is very hard to out because a lot of the things that people play to out like Dark Law are just spells and traps like Lightning Storm, let's say just a raw Fusion Destiny for Phoenix Enforcer, or something like a Dark Ruler, and this helps you get rid of it. I played the one Reboot, also really good for dealing with floodgates. The fact that it can stop Revolt comes up a lot. And lastly, speaking of that, I did side the one Try to get Revolt. I sided this as a cross-out target. The reason why is because Revolt is probably one of the strongest single cards in the format. It does everything that Try to gets need. However, the one downside for them is that they basically need to resolve Revolt in order to go into the grand game. If you can if they stop you with an Appaloosa, but you have the cross-out to stop the Revolt, a lot of the times that means that you're both down top. And because you play more engine cards, that you usually just win the game. And that's it for the deck.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I was waiting. I knew about the Revolt from earlier today, and I was like, oh man, wait till they see this. I think that was just a super pro side deck play for sure. Did it come up at all? Did you play against any Tri Brigade?
I didn't play against any Tri Brigade this format. I played against a bunch of Tri Brigade the weekend prior from another tournament. And this card was the cross out was just an auto one. It happened exactly like that. I just crossed out the Revolt and they had nothing.
Yeah, no.
It got it's just super free.
For sure. All right, man. Well, congratulations on getting top 8. Like you said, first regional of the format. You did it with pure heroes, and I know we'll definitely see you back here on the channel. We're definitely going to see a lot from heroes this format. I think the deck is really well positioned and piloted correctly. I think it could do wonders in this format. But congratulations on the top 8, and thank you for the deck profile.
Awesome. Yeah. Thanks you too, Sam.
Thank you all for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and a special thanks to all my patrons. It's because of you, after all these years, I'm still able to make this type of content. Hopefully you guys will check out some of the videos that are suggested here for you, and just remember, you guys, it's not just a game, it's a lifestyle. Thanks for watching.